Right, hi everybody, it's Chris 2E0UKH. I'm looking at Blue DV for Windows at viewer's request, and yeah, this is Blue DV on Windows. I have got a DV stick 30 connected in the computer, and I'm going to show you how I set it up. But to use it, it's set up at the moment. I've got the right settings. I'm going to show them. As long as I use the same USB socket on the computer every time, it'll always work. So you switch it on by turning on the serial, and up by firmware it should recognise that this is the Amber 3000R. You toggle different modes that you may want here, so I'm going to do that in a minute. But first I'm going to show you the settings that I use that work on DMR D-Star and Fusion. So the most important ones are your call sign, the COM port. Get the COM port right. And if if I've only got two to choose from here, just keep trying different USB sockets on the front of your computer or on the back. And when you find one that works, always use that USB port, and it will just work every time. So this can go out over RF using Blue DV, but this is the USB version I'm using. All of this stuff is optional. D-Star, I've got it on module B, reflector 30 Charlie, it'll always start on there. DMR, put your ID number in. Doesn't matter about QRG, because this is not RF, that's error correction. DMR type, I normally use Brandmeister, but if you're using Brandmeister you have to set a master server here, and you have to have a password that corresponds to the password you've put in your DMR self-care. Now if you were using DMR Plus, you would fill in the master server here, and you would change the DMR type up here to DMR Plus. Now the problem is, on the Blue DV software, there is not anywhere to enter a line of text. Let me explain. A lot of these other than Brandmeister, a lot of these networks require you to enter a line of text. I was watching it on Bridgecom, on their video, very good video, what is DMR Plus, go and watch that. And you will see on there they had to enter a line of text, and that option is not available on Blue DV. But instead what you do is you have to go in and edit files. I'm just trying to find where Blue DV is. I normally click open file location. So it's in program files, Blue DV. So bear with me, there's no rush. Program files. Try the other program files, Blue DV. So in here, Blue DV Windows, there are text files that you can alter. This is where the host files go. Do not alter any of these unless you really know what you're doing. But I'm just saying, I believe this is how you would enter the line of text that you would, on a Pi Star, put in the DMR Plus section. I only use Phoenix here, so I'm not the best person to ask, but watch that video. Bridgecom did a very good video, what is DMR Plus, and that will put you in the right direction. But the only bit that I tripped over with was there's no section to enter to copy a line of text which you have to paste in to get DMR Plus working. Instead, I suspect you have to alter one of these files, because I've done this before to get, what was it, free DMR working. It was something like that. Anyway, I don't use DMR Plus, but that's just a tip. You know, I'm not even sure if Blue DV is the right thing to use for DMR Plus after watching the BridgeCon video. Anyway, so those are my settings. DMR ID, select the networks you want. I'm going to be looking at Phoenix, which is on the DMR Plus. You know, it's comparable to some of the American and other systems, Canada. And when I use Phoenix, you select one of these IPSC servers. And mine, in the UK, Phoenix is Phoenix F. So I would choose that. Remember, I've got DMR Plus selected there. And Phoenix here. Fusion, that should just work. You can choose your default, you know, what you want it to go to at startup. Amber, these are my settings here. But if you're using the DV Stick 30 and Blue DV, these settings will work for you. It's just the DMR Plus I'm not certain about. So I know these settings work, I'll save that. If I wanted to use Fusion, I would switch it on. Remember, always use the same USB socket and it'll always work. Check the firmware's recognised there and I'll choose Fusion. Fusion's easy to describe because it's pretty much, it's like digital radio, super easy. You know, you can't change that. That's Fusion. You change the room you want to go to. You know, there really is tons and tons of rooms, but America-Link is always the busiest. And if I'm going to do a demo, I would choose America-Link so we get some traffic. By the way, when you connect to Fusion, you've got YSF servers, which are Yaesu's own proprietary systems, and FCS and XLX, which are written by other people. And you know, Yaesu will only recognise these ones, YSF reflectors. So, Fusion, let's go to America-Link. You click the link button. Fusion, America-Link. Link. I might have to press transmit. Fusion, not linked. So I'm just trying to work out why it's not linked. Right, so I've just figured out why it won't connect to America-Link. It's not the fault of my settings. America-Link is not working. It's quite simply not working. If you look on the Fusion tab at the bottom, it says not linked. If I changed it to something else like CQ UK, that's a good one. CQ UK, and press link. That one didn't work. I tried a few others and they did work. So let's try Alabama Link. So Alabama Link, that does work. So YSF, that's Yaesu's own system, and I'm now linked to Alabama Link. Let's just see if anyone can hear me. 2E0UKH, just testing a piece of software actually.
Yes, you. I got a second. Yeah, you're coming through. I can hear you.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm just recording a video, hope you don't mind, just trying to help someone. So I haven't used Fusion for a while actually on this radio. Is it too loud or too quiet, or does it sound okay?
I'm on a Kenwood D74, so I'm coming through a different way. But yeah, you sound fine. I use Fusion too, and I like it. Anyway, back to you. Can't wait.
Okay, well you've been very helpful. Thank you very much for your help. KM4 ESU. This is Chris in the UK, 2E0UKH. And I'll say 73 because I'm just recording a video helping someone how to configure Blue DV. So many thanks for the comeback. So I'm transmitting using the bottom right button.
ESU 73 and good luck.
So that was working well. So that's Fusion. And one other thing, if you find some of these servers don't work, whether it's D-Star, DMR Fusion, the way to update it, you have to update your host files. So I would say, there's not, obviously, ironically, there's not one here for Fusion. That could be the issue. Update D-Star and it downloads all the host files. They're just IP numbers and it updates them all. But that's all you really need to know about Fusion using the DV Stick 30. Remember, the YSF reflectors are Yaesu's own, so you're going to find all the real proper Yaesu repeaters in this section. In the FCS and XLX, that stuff that's been added. So there really is not much more to say other than make sure you're using the latest up-to-date software for Blue DV. And the software version with the highest version number, the most recent one. And this is still in beta, so it is I wouldn't say buggy, but it's not the full product yet. Anyway, so that's all I can say about Fusion. And the other thing we wanted to talk about was, I might as well quickly show you D-Star working. Turn Fusion off. You can have more than one on, but it starts getting too much. If you put D-Star on, D-Star's own system is the reflectors. The DCS, XRF and XLX are made by enthusiasts. This is third-party stuff. So D-Star 30 Charlie is a good place to start. And the hardware's recognised. I've got D-Star on. And if I click link, it should put me on 30 Charlie.
REF030C.
And if you look at the bottom, it says linked. There's a big difference to it saying linking. It's trying to link. What you're looking for is linked. So that's the key thing with all of these modes, making sure it's linked, not linking. So we're on D-Star, we're on 30 Charlie, and I'll just test it. 2E0UKH, just testing D-Star, not used it for a few weeks, just checking this is all working okay.
QRZ K9BFK, you're sounding real good here in Madison, Wisconsin. Back to you. I'm very well. Just retired now. What's your call sign?
Yep, Kevin, K9BFK, thank you for coming back. Lots of people, it's a busy one, I don't want to tie it up. But I was just checking everything's working, Kevin. Back to you. The name is Chris. 2E0 UKH in the UK.
Sounds real good, Chris. Don't want to tell you either, but your radio check shows that you're doing everything fine. I'll say 73, K9BSK.
Yep, 73, 2E0 UKH. Much appreciate that. Cheers, bye. So D-Star's working. That was just a quick demo of D-Star.
No link.
And just to reiterate, reflectors are used only for Yaesu's own system. These other things, DCS, XRX, XLX, they are used by third party. If I wanted to create a new system, I'd have to go in through that. These tabs here, I went in and I couldn't remember that guy's call sign, so I went to the last heard and I saw Kevin's call sign here, because I've clicked on it. If you click on it, it shows you them on QRZ, so there's Kevin. BM Lookup, that's probably Brandmeister Lookup for the ID number. Haven't used that. Anyway, so now on to Phoenix, DMR Plus Phoenix. So I'm just going to check my settings are good. DMR Phoenix. So I've got DMR Plus selected here. DMR Plus, that looks good. DMR Plus Master. This is Phoenix in the UK, which is a form of DMR Plus. And it doesn't require, this one doesn't require the optional, no, the extra line of code you have to type in here. On Pi-Star, this is what I'm talking about. On Pi-Star, you've got a section for network optional code, and you can copy and paste it. But I'm quite sure you can copy and paste it into the actual files in the DV, in the Blue DV software. Anyway, I'm trying to make this one more detailed so it's more useful for you, Jimmy. So I believe I got the settings right. I'll put the device on. I'm looking for the hardware version now. Don't want Fusion, I want DMR Plus. Now notice here under level with serial it says DMR Master IPSC2 Phoenix, that's the destination, and DMR is here, and if I just tap the transmit button it should say logged. Right, I am logged in on the network. If I tap this I should be able to, yeah, it does transmit. Now we need to find a talk group. So we're on talk group 9 here. Now Phoenix uses talk groups, I believe. And in the UK there's not many. There's 235, 235. I've just messed that up. Hold on. Bring the other monitor back. Alexa, stop. Right, that was Alexa in the background. So we're on DMR Plus. It's connected. I now need to choose a server. So let's try 235. So I should be on talk group 235. 2E0 UKH, I'm just testing a radio on Phoenix. Can someone come back and just let me know I sound okay? Or if I'm too loud or too quiet, let me know please. You know, this is not like Brandmeister.
Yeah, 96 Golf Sierra also. You're coming in loud and clear. Loud and clear. Very loud, actually. That's it.
Okay, thank you. Well, I've just turned it down. What are my choices? That's 0. That's on 4. That's probably a bit better. So I appreciate you coming back. I'm just testing Phoenix today, and we're on talk group 235. Is that correct?
Golf Sierra also. My name is Paul. That's what I'll be using for Cleaver and Sulphur Peas. And yeah, that's a lot better now on 4. And yes, a lot better. Back to you.
Yeah, okay, well that's awesome. I mean, that's why we should all, people don't like to say you're too loud. You know, people are very polite. But I've always found if you sound too loud or too quiet, you know, you don't get many people come back to you. You know, the same applies for HF. If you're too loud or too quiet, you don't get many people come back, and you don't know why. So it's always best to tell someone politely. So thank you for that.
Yeah, mate, let's go Sierra also. Yeah, okay, Chris, no problem. No problem. At the moment I'm watching European RC.
Yeah, I didn't catch that. What are you watching? You're watching something interesting. Go ahead. Anyway, he seems to have disappeared. Anyway, so that was just a quick demo. Settings I use on the Blue DV.
Let's go Sierra also. Nothing good. Clearing 2-3 stars.
Anyway, so it must have been me that cut out, so he didn't hear my reply. But that's just a quick overview using Blue DV, how to set it up, using it on DMR Plus on Phoenix. Okay, hope that was useful. 732E0 UKH.